Let's get this thing set up. Hopefully you guys can see. That looks a little bit better. Yeah, hopefully I can a little bit better than last night when I was trying to hold the damn thing. I went ahead and set my my stand up that I used to have on my table. I'll do this. I'll just do that. That's good enough. Yeah, that way hopefully I can be able to see the messages. Just say who you are, where you're from, that kind of shit. Just gonna head into the jack. Hopefully it's busy like it was last night. Turn this damn fan off. Yeah, hopefully it's busy because last night it was pretty well packed, which made for a good session pretty quick. Same game plan, I think. You know, I've always been, no matter what sport I've been in or however I ever played craps, mostly is it's very situational, roll to roll, player to player, shooter to shooter. You know, however you want to look at it. I just, you know, I have a general idea. I know for, you know, a couple things that I know for a fact. $25 table, and I mean, I don't play hardways and shit like that, anyways. But hardways are minimum $5. That was one thing I found out last night. This guy was asking. I thought that was kind of strange, but $25 table minimum bet on hardways. So I mean, that's $5 a rip. That's what you want to do. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna, you know, get there and do what I do. I'm gonna start off slow and just flat bet down the back. And if I make my money real quick, I'm gonna get out. A lot of times what I'll do is if I get, you know, a shooter that spreads them out and then starts doubling, going right to the blender, and to say he's got 4 or 5 point, you know, 4 or 5 numbers, I guess it's a 5-point blender. Whatever it is, it's the 3-point blender idea until he starts pulling my numbers off. Take some money that way and start over. That's always a good strategy, that's like step 2 off of the flat bet. So I'll start with a flat bet. If he goes 4, 5, 6 rolls and he's out, doubles 1, I still made a good amount of money. You know, if I catch a shooter, I go right into the blender and you know, just take the difference until the next shooter or, you know, whatever works out from that situation. So just wanted to give everybody a heads up that I was on here in case you guys had any questions. Just heading in. Hopefully it is busy. I'm thinking Friday night, downtown Cleveland. There ain't nothing else to do, so hopefully it'll be packed. I saw Let It Roll and Dave from Same Bed and Jeremy was playing bubble craps in Denver, so hopefully they're having a good time. It's always a good time when you can meet up with somebody. Last year we got to meet up with Bird Dog and his wife, and that was pretty cool. It's cool to get to meet people, and I think I heard Rick say to Dave, man, I feel like, you know, we're brothers and we've known each other for a long time. It's like, you know, we do all this correspondence and talking on the phone, and back when it was like really busy with Craps Nation and everybody was talking and doing all this stuff, you really feel like you get to know everybody, and it's a pretty cool camaraderie to have, you know, a group of guys playing and sharing ideas. And it's kind of cool to see Jeremy and Rick from Let It Roll and Dave from Same Bed all get together and play some bubble craps. I was kind of thinking about going over, and I don't even know if Cleveland, I know they have the bubble craps up on the big screen, but they used to have that cool little machine too. I'm not really a big bubble craps fan. I don't know, I'm very leery of anything that the casino has control of. I don't know, it's just not really my thing. But I was gonna try to just I don't know, do my double or nothing 2 field bets. So take like $5, and if it hits, take the $10. So you got a 50. You know, you're only in for 50%, right? So if you got a $5 bet initially and you win, it's $10. So now you got a $10 bet for only $5, and you hit it again, it's $20. So so you get a 75% return. For a $5 investment, you get a $20 back. You leave the 5 there, you put the 15 in your pocket, and you just do it again. So essentially, it's, you know, you hit one time, it pays for 4 bets. That's kind of a fun way to play it, just as a side bet. Not really something that I do often, but it is kind of fun to do, especially if you're way ahead and you're just waiting for a roll. You set a small amount of money, or bubble craps if you're playing bubble craps. That's always a cool way to do it. Who's all on here? It looks like I got 4 people. I did give a heads up saying I was going to be on. I was hoping maybe Uncle Angelo and whoever was up. I don't know. It is almost midnight, 11 o'clock. So I'm not sure who's up this time, but we're on the night shift here. I do have my cup from New York, New York. I love this shit. So I was just wondering if anybody had any questions or any strategies that they wanted to run by and see what I thought about. I do like, you know, different strategies and different ideas of strategies. My biggest thing is I think sometimes people get so caught up in all these like different theories and ideas that they lose really what you're trying to do. And what you're trying to do is get in, make a percentage of the money that you're buying in for, and get out. You know, 10, 15%. If you could do that day in and day out, that's what you want to do. You want to run daily. You don't want to blow through a bankroll, so you don't want to play something with a high probability of losing. Yeah, I get a high risk, high reward. That's always a good theory, right? But at the same time, you know, I would rather, and that's what my blend. I don't think ways that I play. It's like, okay, like even flat bet. I mean, I can lose 50% and still be even. So I still want a better chance to win day in and day out. I'm not trying to go in and make $1,000 in a day. Like I do that in Vegas because I pop between casinos. Like here, I'm in Cleveland, there's only 4 tables. Those 4 tables are only going to be those 4 tables. But when I'm in Vegas, I can pop into 5, 6 different casinos within an hour, and I can hit them for 150 for 15, 20 minutes. Who's that? Need to go back and watch. Oh yeah, and hit me up if you have any questions. I'm going to try to read some of the messages, but like I said, I'm driving obviously, and the writing is so small, and apparently I'm getting old and I can't see shit. But if you want to do this game and you want to play this game and be successful in it, strategies are great, but you have to have a win ratio. You have to be able to win more than you lose. And flat betting has always done well for me. Even, you know, progressing it with Uncle Angelo's Don't Climb the Ladder. I love that idea, but you need a bankroll. You need a massive bankroll. I mean, I was looking back at some of my old videos. I was buying in for $3,000, $5,000, starting out with $10 bets. I mean, there's times that we were betting, we had $300, $400, $500, almost $500 on a number. I mean, that's ridiculous amount of money, but there are big rolls. So you need to be able to stay in a situation and then gauge the situation. Just like in any sport, right? Like, you know, if you go and you're playing football or something else, and you keep trying to run the same damn play and it's not working, you got to switch it up. You know what I mean? You got to call plays. You got to like adjust. And if you can't adjust to a situation, you're never going to make it in this game. You have to be able to read from person to person, throw to throw, and figure out. You got to have an exit plan before you even start. Like right off the bat, if I can know in 15 minutes either I made my money and I'm cashing out, or I'm coming up with an exit strategy like right now. If I'm just treading water, you know, if I'm up like 50, $75 on $25 table in 15 minutes, something's wrong. So I need to come up with an exit strategy. I'm either going to stop. If I say I got 2 numbers out there and one number gets knocked off, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cover that number up. And then I'm going to just cover the point and just get myself out of that situation. Because I know if I hit another number, then I'll just take the pay and take it down with me. And then just go right to a blender and just take my money and start over. It's better to get yourself out of a situation ahead than it is to just let that money go. Like last night, I literally watched this dude get pounded for $1,000 in the 15 minutes that I was here, and he was just doing the same shit. 220 inside, He was doing, he had $100 on the pass line, and he was putting odds. 220, he was just handing $220, and then he was just pressing. And it was like 4 rolls that I was there, 4 shooters. And it was like, and I even stayed for 2 other shooters just to kind of watch this dude because I was waiting for him to get the dice. And all he did was press. Every number, if he hit a number, press. He didn't get $1. He didn't even collect anything. He didn't regress anything. I don't know what his plan was. He obviously saw that all the people ahead of him was never getting anywhere. So I wasn't like, I didn't want to sit there and like, pick his brain and say, hey, what the fuck are you doing? But I was thinking, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, I just sat there and watched you lose $1,000, and nothing that you're doing is making you any money. It's 2 hits here, a hit there, 3 hits there, and he's like, he just pressed it. I mean, the last one, he's like, oh, go to 90. Okay, well, that's great because the next number was 7. So, I mean, not only did he lose his profits and his starting money, now he's got to start in the back, and he just kept doing that over and over again. So I'm always thinking, like, just like chess, I go in with an idea, I observe, and I'm kind of like head hunting, I'm like kind of walking around the tables and just kind of listening. If I see people hooting and hollering, I'm going to kind of watch that table, because if they start hitting numbers, eventually everybody's going to win, and then they usually bounce. I mean, that's what I've noticed. Like, it seems like everybody will, if someone wins and they do pretty good, then everybody will cash out and they get out. And then I'm kind of looking for new people to go in so I can jump in and start playing the don'ts and maybe even hop in the field. Because I'm going to take that for a couple, see if I get 2 or 3 numbers out. Within that first 3 or 4 numbers, if I get doubled up on a number and my don't gets knocked off, boom, I'm going right to the blender. I'm going to go ahead and post everything up. I'm down for $25. I think if I hit 1 or 2 numbers, I recovered. If not, I'm still in a game. I didn't lose. I have a lot of opportunity and not very much at risk. And that's how I play. That's how press plays. That's the press style. I'm in there. I make the money. I get out. And there are a lot of channels. I mean, there's a lot of good guys out here, a lot of good friends of mine that have been doing this. They make a lot of videos. I don't know how much like actual casino time that they get. I know some people, they got to drive a long way. But it's different. It's a lot different at home. When you're shooting at your own table, you know how your table rolls. You're not dealing with inconsistencies of like what's going on at the table, pit bosses, people talking. Like all that shit goes out the window when your money is on the table. Something. I don't know, I'll have to look at these and get back to the questions. I apologize. I saw it pop up and I'm trying to read it. But the idea, anyways, is that you want to get in with as minimal amount of risk and equal to more reward. So, like, okay, I buy them for $600. If I can make $100 in 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, I'm going to leave. I mean, it's plain and simple. I got a 20-minute ride. I mean, I'm looking at an hour. I'm $150 an hour, 5 days a week. I mean, I always set my limit at $500. I don't really play like that anymore because I'm not working downtown. I no longer work downtown next to the Jack. So I'm not there. So I don't just pop in and out. And now with all this COVID and all this dumb shit, I don't know how much, I'm even going to come here. I'm really looking to go to, like, we were looking at Biloxi, and I was looking at maybe hitting Tunica still this year. Vegas for sure, at least 1, if not 2 more times. Atlantic City. I'm looking to go other places because the Jacks just doesn't do it for me anymore. It's not very appealing for anybody that I bring with me because like it's just not very fun. It's not entertaining. It's kind of dark and dingy and it's not really updated. The food kind of sucks. The buffet is horrible. Just hitting the high points anyways. These are just my opinions. It's a good ATM machine to walk in, take a little bit of money and leave, but $400 or $500 a week. I've only played twice this week, and I'm up. I don't know. I'm just under my $500 goal. I was just going because she's working, and I don't really have anything else to do on a Friday night, and she don't eat lunch till 3 o'clock. So I figured I'd go and make $150. Our trip to Vegas is already paid for, so I was just getting a little bit extra spending money if we wanted to do something. And that's how I look and how I teach. people to play. Is you want to be consistent over time, but you need to be able to adjust on the fly. You need to be able to make a decision and see what's happening, and you either need to get out or you need to be able to ride it out. And being able to ride it out is bankroll. And you have to be able to establish a bankroll and build a bankroll. And you're not going to build a bankroll with shit strategies. And you can't just do multiple, you can't just try all these different things, because you're never going to know what's going to work. It's too many variables. You can't keep changing variables. Just like when I teach people how to shoot, you change one variable at a time. I mean, there's a lot of people on YouTube that I've had a hand in teaching them how to throw, and yes, they've come into their own and learned, and you can always tell if you taught them well because they can teach others. George from CY is probably one of the greatest people that I've seen. I've worked with, and he's a student of the game for sure. He's explored everything that is possible to explore, from technique to different throws to different styles, different hands, dice rotate. I mean, he's done everything, and that's what, if you're gonna shoot, that's what you need to do. You need to put in the time, the effort, the work. I mean, you got to put it all in, because you're looking to hit a couple numbers. I don't care about hitting a bunch of numbers. I care about hitting the numbers that I have my money on. So actually, if you get a chance, I have a video up. It's one of my older videos. It's called my live stress test, and that's where I took, I think it was $100, and I took it up to table max. And me and George were doing it, and I think I did it on the first or second time. It doesn't matter, but that was the idea, and that's how you set dice. I was rolling the dice, setting the dice based on the number that I wanted. And I was hitting the number, I was taking up the table max. I was just taking them up. And we got all the way up, and that's what you want to do. You want to, if you're going to learn how to throw, you need to learn how to throw like that. I mean, anybody can, spray like a buckshot. We don't want to just spray all kinds of numbers, anything but 7. Like, that's not what you want to do. If you want to shoot, you need to shoot specific numbers. Myself and El Toro is by far the only other person that I've known on YouTube or seen throw on YouTube. And George is pretty consistent with hitting, inside numbers. A lot of guys are actually getting a lot better with doing such. But El Toro is the only other person. And there's another guy, and he's not even on here anymore. I used to talk to him all the time. His name was Crypto Wolf, and I don't even know if his channel's still up. I know he lives in Vegas. They moved. He had a killer table. That dude could shoot specific numbers, and you can always tell someone that can shoot because they'll roll a dice and they'll call out their numbers. That's what you want to do if you want to dial in and make money as a shooter. And otherwise, you need to learn how to make money quickly and get the hell out. I have learned over these years of doing this, there was times I was going in every morning, I was trying all these different strategies and shit because I was making so much money. I'm like, I'm going to dedicate X amount of money to testing strategy. And what it all ended up doing is I would end up testing strategy for X amount of time, and then when I got to, I bought him for $1,200 or $1,500. If I got down to like half my money, $700, I was going right back to flat betting or climbing the ladder or shit that I know that would work over time to get my money back and make $100, tip a couple bucks, and get out. So I always knew that I had that in my back pocket. A lot of people can't really dial in like that. So that's just, a couple little tidbits. This is like what I'm thinking about when I'm going to the casino. Like all the things that I've seen, relax, go to the bathroom, do all, whatever it is that you got to do. You got to have a routine, right? Walk in. I always go in the same way. I'm not superstitious or anything stupid like that, but I like a very tight routine. I like to show up. I kind of like to park in the same area. I walk in, I say hi to people, I go in, I punch my code. I do whatever I got to do. I get my free bet, and I don't go right to the first spot. I walk around. I just kind of look and see what everybody's doing. There's a lot, usually, especially in Cleveland, there's a lot of people that recognize me or people that I know that I've seen for years up here playing. I'll bullshit with, hey, what's going on? How's the tables? A lot of the guys up here are dark side players. So, I'll talk to them. This one dude, he buys it for $10,000 every time. And he's just, he's pretty simple, man. He basically lays against the point, and he lays the 4 and 10, and he's looking to make money on the 7 on the come out. That's what he's doing. Anybody that knows Cleveland, if you can win in Cleveland, you can win anywhere. It's really hard for a dark side player in Cleveland because a lot of people are shooting for 7s and 11s on a come out. And unfortunately, they hit them a lot. So once again, another one of my rules based on where from my lessons that I learned here, I go 1, don't come, or 1, don't pass. If it gets knocked off on the 7 on the come out, I wait until a point is established, and I start running my my DCs, because a lot of times they're usually shooting for that point. So I'll try to catch a couple sprayed numbers that they miss, and then if they hit that point, see that's where you got to be smart, right? So if I see somebody that I recognize is a pretty good shooter, and I know that within 4 or 5 numbers he'll probably hit, if I don't have a don't pass because he knocked my first one off, I'll let him spray 4 or 5 numbers because he's trying to hit that point. When he hits that point, my don't come will travel to that point number. So now I'll have 5 numbers, and most likely 9 out of 10 times he's shooting for the 7 or the 11 on a come out. If he hits that 7, I just got paid all those numbers in the back, and that has happened so many times. Sam, I used to take him all the time, and there's so many times I'm like, we're not working. We'll be blundering. No, we're not working, and bam, they'll hit it. We'll get paid on the back, and then we'll just take our front down and start our blender all over again. It's just about understanding the game. Like, there's people that's like, oh, I want a strategy, or print me out a list. If this happens, that happens. Vince does a really great job with that. He'll build all these strategies and theories and Mr. Green and all that, and he'll have a bunch of I'll have to take a look at that too. That's a long story. He'll have like all these different cards, so you better hope that like you can figure out what it is, find on that card real quick what you're supposed to do, tell the dealer, and hopefully you get your bet in before the dice are out. So you can either play craps like that, pencil and paper and a clipboard, or you can learn how to play the game, keep it simple, or simple enough that you can understand it, and then apply what you know how to do and build on it. It's like playing a guitar, learning another language, playing any sport, being good at anything. You have to understand everything that goes along with it, or you truly won't be good at it. So like, you might not want to be a shooter, say that's not really your thing, but you should still start looking for patterns, looking for someone that's kind of setting the dice or having an idea and seeing what numbers are generating from that. Last night, this guy next to me, as I was leaving, I took a couple minutes, and he threw a point of a 5, and I watched 2 of his throws. I'm like, all right, you need to set a certain number, and I was like, you're gonna get 9s and 5s, and he hit 3 9s, and he missed his 5 by 1 number. He ended up getting just off of it, but it was the right idea. It was just it's just being able to read the table, read the dice. And even if you're not a shooter, you should still have a general idea of what to expect. You should be able to, even in your own head, have a pretty good idea what numbers are coming by looking at how the dice are rolling. And that's just my opinion. Maybe not everybody does that, or not everybody has the ability to do such. But I mean, I've proven that time and time again, and it's not even really about what I can do, but it's about what I can teach other people to do. Because I know what my capability is at the table. Is I use Sergeant Pass Line. I don't think he's even really playing that much anymore with all this COVID and whatnot. And he's a cop, so it's kind of hard for him to get out and to do such with the schedule. But we're playing, and I'm like, here it comes. And like, he's like, well, how do you even know that? It's not about it's probability. If I keep throwing the same set and I'm hitting the same numbers, those numbers or variations of those numbers are going to be close. So if you're throwing a set and you're relatively close, even like Jacob from Wager Me This, Skill and Luck will say, hey, use this set for whatever. He's trying to hit a landing zone. He's trying to get the set there. So if he's looking for, if he's throwing a 3V set, even a variation of the 3V set, we have a good probability he's going to hit all inside numbers. That's what a 3V set's for. If you can throw it right, you should be able to adjust the 3V set up and down just like you can do any other number. I can throw almost every number with a 3V set with just a slight variation of one die or the other. And that's what you should be able to do. So this was just something that I was, I'm heading in. I'm just kind of, giving you guys some ideas, some things to think about. If you're planning on getting out to the casino, make sure you're staying safe. And a couple things that like just completely blow my mind with this whole COVID shit is that everybody's all hot and bothered about the mask and the cleaning the dice, but the chips no one ever cleans the chips. In Cleveland, they don't have plexiglass up this time. It looks like they all took it down, and then there's like these little signs that says "Stay safe." So I don't know what that's doing. Actually, I kind of like it because when I throw, I don't have to worry about hitting that. But protect yourself if nothing else, right? So put some hand sanitizer in your hands. If nothing else, just it matters what you believe in. It doesn't really matter, but keep your hands clean because everything else isn't. And I'm not really a germaphobe and or do I really believe in a lot of this shit that's going on. But I don't want anybody to get sick based on everybody's trying to overdo it. So it's just, it doesn't really matter what I believe. I'm just telling you, I've never been big for hand sanitizer, but everybody's touching all this shit, and I feel people more sick. So I'm just trying to not, touch so much stuff while you're here doing this. So I will look back into the comments. I apologize that I can't. The writing is so small. If you could, just let me know. I don't know if it reconnected or not. Going downtown, it buffers through there, so if I lost you, I apologize. But hopefully I'm still on. But I'm about ready to show up to the jack. If someone can let me know if I'm still alive here, I'm trying to drive. It says I'm still alive. But let me know. Let me know, where you're where you're watching from. Let me know, if you're a shooter or just you like strategies just to play. How often do you like to? Thanks, ugly dude. How often you guys play? It seems like there's just a lot of people, especially with channels and stuff. They have a lot of theories, a lot of strategies, and that's great because you got to test all these things. I have a whole playlist of strategy testing. I'd start with the same amount of money, X amount of rolls, and just ran through a bunch of tests. Cool. Michigan, is that Michigan? Or Wisconsin, one of the two, I can't see. It doesn't matter. I will look at all these messages. I'll respond to everybody. I appreciate it. I'm going to try to come up with something a little bit better so I can see it. Maybe get a pair of glasses. That might help. But, hey, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I don't know. I'm just going to hit tonight, and I'm not sure. I'll probably do a little, I don't know, 3 or 4 minute video of some sort. I don't know if I'll probably just record it and post it. It's probably going to be the easiest thing instead of going live. Once I'm done, just to kind of let you know if it's packed or whatever. I really like packed tables. As a dark side player, the way that I play is I want a lot of shooters. I want a lot of shooters, and I want them fast because I'm thinking the more rolls in the quicker amount of time is more money over money. The faster the 7's going to come, or if I get hammered by something, the faster I can recoup my money or jump into a blender or whatever. I want a lot of numbers. I don't want 1 or 2 people. That's just not enough random. I want more random shooting, and even with people setting, it's still considered random unless you can hit specific numbers. So, all right, I will check everything, and I do appreciate everybody checking in. So until later, you guys know what to do. Make sure you're staying safe, and get out there and let us know how you're doing. And good luck to Rick, Jeremy, and Dave from Same Bet. Hopefully the bubble craps were good to you. Until later, you guys know what to do.